Hi everyone. I've had my Tesla Supercharger to CCS adapter for a while now, and I finally got to take it out for a test drive this morning. So let me tell you about it. So this picture shows a kind of an overview of what I ran into when I showed up at this particular charger location. I thought I was golden when I saw an empty spot down at the end that's used for Amish buggy parking, and since there was no Amish buggy in there, I figured I'd pull in there and I'd be able to use that very last charger at the location at the end. However, the problem I ran into is the height of this curb that you see all across the front of these charge stations. I just couldn't get up close enough because I didn't want to scrape the spoiler, the lower spoiler that's in the front, and trying to get in closer to the thing. So I wasn't able to use any of these locations. What saved the day for me was this one slot that was meant for cars to pull into rather than back into, so that the charger location was more accessible for cars that happen to have a bike rack or something hanging on the back of the car. Now, the potential problem with this particular slot, on my Equinox EV, the charge port happens to be on the front fender. On a typical Tesla, it happens to be on the rear fender. So because I needed access to this particular charger, I was not able to pull all the way into that particular slot. As you can see from this particular picture, I was not able to pull all the way into the slot, and that meant that the back end of my car was sort of sticking out there and was potentially obstructing the driveway that people were using to come in and out of this Sheetz gas station. Now, fortunately, that driveway access that you see on the right was pretty wide, so it really didn't turn out to be too big of an issue. I suppose if it was, I probably could have moved forward another 8 or 10 inches, and that might have helped the situation out a little bit. But I survived, and I got through it without anybody hitting me or anything like that. So eventually I got close enough so that I could go ahead and actually try this out and see how it works. The adapter that I have here was ordered directly from General Motors, so it's not one of the alternate ones that are out there. It's a genuine GM provided one. So the way I handled it here was I took the Tesla cord, plugged it into the adapter, and then plugged the adapter into the car. And then, of course, I went and fired up the Tesla app, and the first thing it asked me to do was plug the car in. Of course, I had already done that, so I waited a few seconds, and my car eventually got recognized, and the Tesla app at that point asked me to put in what the station number was. In this case, it was station 1A, and once I did that, I was off to the races and things began to charge. Now, I should note that I really didn't need a charge. I was really going through this just to test out the procedure and make sure everything was working properly. When I arrived, my state of charge was somewhere around 47–48%, and I only took it up to about 60% and then shut down the charging and went on my way. I was seeing numbers somewhere around 50 or so kilowatt hour charge rate, so it didn't seem very high, but then again, I was, pretty high up there as far as my state of charge. I assumed that if I was in a situation where I was down in a typical 25 or 30%, I probably would see something a little bit beefier going on in here. You might be wondering what it costs to charge at this station, and this particular one, as you can see from this invoice, was 56 cents per kilowatt hour. Frankly, you don't save any money driving on a road trip with electric. The best economy, of course, is when you charge at home. But as far as taking an electric on a road trip, it's going to cost you just about what it costs you per mile to drive a gas car. So there you have it. Thanks for watching the video, and if you get a chance, subscribe. Catch you on the next one.